I recently fixed up my bike, packed up a few things, and headed to Bowen Island, a small island just off of Vancouver, and I spent 3 days at a beautiful little yoga retreat tucked away in the forest called Nectar. I wasn't there, however, on vacation. I was there doing a work trade program, which essentially means I help around the property in exchange for some food, a cozy loft bed, and a space to practice yoga. It was a small experiment in what work, rest, and life might look like now after leaving my corporate job. Oops. This is my little bed. It's like a little loft area. This is the boutique that they sell stuff at. So I just take a little ladder up to get here. You see? After settling into my little loft, we gathered for orientation. Andrea, the owner, walked us through everything we could do. Hiking Mount Gardner, finding orcas, exploring Killarney Lake, and instantly my heart sped up. This version of me, the one that's always chasing the next hike, the next adventure, she panicked. I felt like I had to do everything. But somewhere in that swirl, I caught myself. You don't actually have to do it all. You can actually just relax and just chill out, maybe. So these last 3 days, I didn't hike. I didn't explore the island. I stayed close to the retreat. I worked and I rested.
In yoga, it's not about how the pose looks. And of course, there's like anatomical alignment and things that we do care about while we practice. But what really matters is how the pose feels in your own body. I can't tell you what looks or feels good for you.
The mornings here were really peaceful. I had breakfast without checking my phone, without multitasking, without rushing to the next meeting or the next call. And I couldn't remember the last time that I had done that. Just eating, just breathing, and just sitting in the morning sun. I was assigned to help with gardening, potting plants, mixing soils, clearing bushes and weeds, and burning debris. It really doesn't sound like much, but after 3 years being stuck behind a screen 8 hours a day, being outside in the sunshine and working with my hands and my body felt really amazing. There was a beginning and end to every task, and I could see what I was doing. And for the first time in a very, very long time, I felt really proud of what I was doing. Not only was it exciting, but it was hard. I was sweating. I was hauling big bags of soil up and down hills, but it reminded me that I was strong, that I can still show up even if my body hasn't been hitting all the goals that I had set this year. What I didn't expect was how often other people would stop to say thank you. The staff, the owners, they'd walk by and say things like, "This looks so beautiful. Thank you so much for doing this. And thank you for working so hard." And I'd laugh it off and say, "Oh no, like, thank you for having me. I'm here loitering for free." But something about that kind of stuck and it softened me a bit. I've never been someone who needs a lot of external validation, but hearing my work mattered, that it was seen, felt really good. Maybe because I too was proud of the work that I was doing. Hot. Just had weeds in it, and now it's a beautiful plant. They're called lysimachias. And after sitting with the numerous thank yous, I realized how simple it is to say thank you, but how rarely we say it out loud. Yay! On the final night, I built a bonfire using some of the debris and weeds that I had cleared earlier. And it was by far the most epic bonfire that I'd ever made. Naturally, people started to gather around it to warm up, strangers who had become familiar to each other over the last couple days. Someone suggested a little ritual. We'd each write something down on a piece of paper we wanted to leave behind on the island and toss it into the fire. A thought, a fear, a habit, whatever it was, we didn't share what we wrote. We didn't have to, because as we stood there around the fire, there was this unspoken knowing that we all had come here carrying something, uncertainty, heartache. And even though we couldn't fix any of that, and knowing that yoga and meditation, although is great, can't heal everything, we were just meant to be together. Just being together made the weight feel a little bit lighter. I guess you could say that these past few months have been about letting go of a job and letting go of a version of myself that I thought that I had to be. And now I'm slowly learning that I don't need to prove anything to be worthy of rest. That showing up, doing something with care, and doing it with your best shot, and letting yourself be seen, it all matters. And that sometimes just being is actually more than enough. I guess on that note, thank you, Nectar, and thank you to me for just letting me be.